हेलो एंड वेलकम टू स्मार्ट एजुकेशन। आज हम करेंगे क्लास 10 का चैप्टर नंबर 4 विच इज क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशंस। क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशंस वो इक्वेशंस होती हैं जिनमें इक्वेशन की डिग्री 2 होती है। इसकी जनरल फॉर्म इज ax to the power of 2 plus bx plus c equals to 0. For example, 3x square plus 5x plus 2 is equals to 0. This is a quadratic equation because the degree of this equation is 2. Or we can say 4x square minus 3 is equals to 0. This is also a quadratic equation because the degree of this equation is 2. So any equation with degree as 2 is known as quadratic equation. Now the question arises, if we are given some equation, how to identify it's quadratic or not. Let's understand it with an example. We are given two equations. We need to find out whether they are quadratic equations or not. Let's start with the first one. Let's simplify this first. So x minus 2 whole square, applying the formula of a minus b whole square, we get x square minus 4x plus 4. Then we have plus 1. We take this complete term on the left hand side. So plus 2x becomes minus 2x and minus 3 becomes plus 3 is equals to 0. Now let's simplify. There is only one term for x square, so x square. This is minus 4x, this is minus 2x, so this becomes minus 6x. This is plus 4, plus 1, plus 3. So this becomes plus 8 is equals to 0. Now the degree of this equation is 2. So this is a quadratic equation. Let's simplify the other second question. X into x plus 1 will give you x square plus x plus 8. And this will become, this is a plus b and a minus b, so this is x square minus 4. Let's take complete term of right hand side to the left hand side. We get x square plus x plus 8 plus x square becomes minus x square and minus 4 becomes plus 4 equals to 0. So plus x square and minus x square gets cancelled. We are left with x plus 12. Here the degree is 1. So we say that this is not a quadratic equation. So please remember, for an equation to be quadratic, the degree of the equation should be 2. Now the next type of question which comes is to form a quadratic equation from a given situation. So let's try to do it using an example. Let's read one by one the line and then form the quadratic equation. The first line says John and Jivanti together have 45 marbles, right? That means we can say that if let number of marbles with John be equal to x, then we can say that number of marbles with Jivanti is going to be 45 minus x, right? Because the total is 45. Then it says that both of them lost 5 marbles each. Now, how many of them are left? Then marbles left, then we can say that marbles left with John will be x minus 5 and marbles left with Jivanti will be 45 minus x minus 5, which is 40 minus x, right? Then it says that the product of the number of marbles they now have is 124. Product, that means now they have x minus 5 and 40 minus x. So the product of these, that means x minus 5 into 40 minus x is equals to 124. Let's simplify it. This would become 40x minus x square minus 200 plus 5x, and we take 124 on the other side, minus 124 equals to 0. Simplifying, we'll get x square minus 45x and plus 324 is equals to 0. So this is the required quadratic equation. So you just need to read the question, form the statement one by one, and you'll get the required quadratic equation. तो नाउ वी नो कि क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन क्या होती है, उसे हम कैसे फॉर्म कर सकते हैं. नाउ द नेक्स्ट स्टेप इज द सॉल्यूशन, हाउ टू सॉल्व द फॉर्म्ड क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन. So there are two ways which we're going to study to find the solution of quadratic equation. One is factorization, the other is quadratic formula. There's one more way, but that is not in the syllabus, so we are not covering that. So let's start with factorization. Let's understand factorization method using an example. Suppose we have the equation 6x square minus x minus 2 is equals to 0. We need to find the solution of this equation. Now in factorization, we need to find two numbers. We need to find two numbers a and b such that a into b, that means product of these numbers, should be equal to the product of the first and the third number. That means the coefficient of x square and the constant term. So this should be equal to 6 into minus 2, which is minus 12. So the product should be minus 12, and either we add it or we subtract them. We should get the answer as the middle term, which is minus 1 in this case. So think of the factors of 12. We know 12 is 6 into 2 is 12, but 6 minus 2 can't be minus 1 and 6 plus 2 can't be minus 1. So we can't take 6 and 2. Also, we know 3 into 4 is 12, and if we do 3 minus 4, we'll get the answer as minus 1, right? So we can take A as 3 and b as minus 4 because we need minus 1, and 3 into minus 4 will also give us minus 12, right? So we need to take care of the minus sign. So let's solve it now. So how we'll solve it, we'll write down, we'll split the middle term. We'll write it as minus 4x plus 3x minus 2 equals to 0. So you see, minus 4x and plus 3x will give us back minus x. So we are just simplifying it and we are just splitting the middle term. So let's look at the first two terms. 6x square minus 4x. Out of 6 and 4, 2 is common. Out of x square and x is common. So if we take 2x common, we are left here with 3x and here with minus 2, because 2x into 3x will give us 6x square and 2x into minus 2 will give us minus 4x. Now look at the next two terms. The bracket is 3x minus 2. This is also 3x minus 2. So what should we take common? We should take common 1. ऐसे cases में we take common as 1. Now we have the same brackets, 3x minus 2 and 3x minus 2. We take that common. We are left with 2x plus 1 equals to 0. Now when we have two terms equal to 0, that means 3x minus 2 is equals to 0, or 2x plus 1 equals to 0. That means x is equals to 2 by 3 or x equals to minus 1 by 2. So this is going to be the solution of this equation. Now let's try and solve the same equation using the quadratic formula. Before that, let me share the general formula. If the equation is ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0, then the quadratic formula is given as minus b plus minus square root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. So if you compare it with the given equation, we see that a is 6 in this case, b is minus 1 and c is also minus 2. You need to take care of the minus sign because general equation में plus है, तो अगर minus आ रहा है तो आप minus को number के साथ ही लेंगे. So let's put it in the quadratic formula. Quadratic formula is minus b plus minus square root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. So minus b, that means minus 1 plus minus square root of minus 1 square minus 4 into 6 into minus 2 divided by 2a, which is 2 into 6, right? So let's solve that. This becomes minus minus becomes plus 1 plus minus. Inside the square root we have 1 plus 4 6 are 24, 24 2s are 48 divided by 2 6 are 12, right? we get 1 plus minus square root of 49 divided by 12. Now we know square root of 49 is 7, so we get 1 plus minus 7 by 12. Now we can split into two parts. One can be 1 plus 7 by 12, the other can be 1 minus 7 by 12. So 1 plus 7 is 8 by 12 and 1 minus 7 is minus 6 by 12. So if we simplify it, we get 4, 6, 2, 3, 1 and 2. So we get 2 by 3 and minus 1 by 2. The same answer which we got in our factorization method. So whether you use any of the method, you'll get the same answer. One important thing about the quadratic formula. This is the general equation and the quadratic formula. The square root part, which is b square minus 4ac, b square minus 4ac. This part is known as the discriminant. This is called discriminant, which is symbolized as capital D. Now, without calculating actual roots, just observing the discriminant, we can say what type of root we are going to get in the given equation. By type of root, I mean to say whether the roots are real or imaginary. So there is a simple trick for that. If your discriminant is greater than 0, then the roots are going to be two distinct real roots. That means they're going to be real roots and they are going to be two different numbers, right? If d is equals to 0, then we are going to get two same real roots. That means we are going to get the real roots, but they're going to be same. And if d, your discriminant, is less than 0, then we have imaginary roots. So in case you need to find out just what type of root we have, we just need to calculate the discriminant part, which is b square minus 4ac, and look for the relation. Now let's try and solve a real life problem based on the discriminant in the quadratic formula. The question says, is it possible to draw, to design a rectangle whose length is twice its breadth and the area is 800 meters square? If yes, then find its length and breadth. Now, how do we know whether it is possible or not? If we get our discriminant either greater than 0 or equal to 0, then we get the real roots. That means if our discriminant is either greater than 0 or equal to 0, then we can say that it is possible. Now let's find the discriminant. First, let's form the equation. We are given that the length is twice its breadth. So let breadth be equal to x meter. So length will be 2x meter. And the area is given to us. We know that the area of a rectangle is length into breadth. So area is 800 equals to x into 2x. So we get 800 equals to 2x square and x square equals to 400, or we can say that x square minus 400 is equals to 0. So this is our equation. Now in this equation, our a is 1, b is 0 and c is minus 400. Let's find our discriminant first. So discriminant is given as b square minus 4ac, right? Our b is 0, so this is 0 square, minus this is 4 into 1 into minus 400. So this is 0 plus 1600. So our discriminant is 1600, which is greater than 0. Hence, it is possible. Yes, it is possible. Now, since it is possible, we need to find the length and breadth. So our equation was x square minus 400 is equals to 0 with a as 1, b as 0 and c as minus 400. Let's find the value of x now. Quadratic formula is minus b plus minus root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. So here the b is 0. B square minus 4ac, we just calculated, is 1600 divided by 2a, which is 2 into 1. Now this is plus minus 1600 is square root of 1600 is 40 divided by 2. So we get it as plus minus 20. Now the side of a rectangle can't be negative. So we get the final value of x as plus 20 meter. So our x was the breadth and the length was 2x. So 2 into 20, which is 40 meter. So the breadth is 20 meter and the length is 40 meter. I hope you understand the crux of this chapter. It's a very easy chapter. You can go through the video again to understand it more deeply. In case of any suggestion or queries, please write down to us in our comment section. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel and share this video with the children who need it more. Thank you. Take care. Bye.